Alright, what's going on? This is your boy, the Mad Scientist with Mad Scientist Designs, and today I'm gonna show you how to crop an image. Um, Cropped images are really good for photographers or designers. If you're a photographer, it's good if you want to add a digital background, um, to clean up a background, or if you're a designer for doing digital designs or print designs, which would be for like posters, uh, magazines, mixtapes, anything to crop a background so you can have something cool. Remove everything out of the background without having blurry images. Blurry edges around your subject or specimen, which I would say the person that's in the shot. So I'm in Photoshop CS5, and to break down those pictures first and foremost, uh, you want to talk about megapixels. If you know what megapixels are basically is another word for resolution, pretty much. Um, some pictures have high resolution, some pictures have low resolution. This picture right here was shot with a 18 megapixel camera, so it's gonna have pretty high resolution. If you click on the magnifying glass here and you just zoom in, you can see the quality. You can see where it's shaved, far as like I don't know if those are what pimples or whatever. I don't know. I'll go back to fit on screen, but you can see how high the resolution is. You can zoom in, you can see the person's every little feature on their face, or whatever it is you're taking a shot of. But let me zoom out of this right quick. Fit the screen. To find out what the resolution is of the picture, if you don't know what camera you're shooting with, or if someone's taking a photo shoot of you and you don't know what type of camera they are using, because you might send your pictures in to a graphic designer and they might request that they have that you send them a high resolution picture. And if you don't know, just go to image size, or you can if you're in a folder, you can right click on the image and it'll let you know the size of the image, and the size of the image will pretty much let you know, which would be I went and googled it. When you right click on the image, pretty much it'll tell you, it'll show you this in the properties, and most 18 megapixels are between this size, most 12 megapixels between this size, and as you can see, and just like this image, it's around 5184 in width and 3455 in height, 300 resolution, but it's a high resolution picture. But you can see, say for instance, let's go out of this. If you zoom in, you see the high quality of this picture right here. Now, this is going to say a lot. Say for instance, I look at the edges. You see these edges? Now, watch this. Let's fit this on the screen. Let's just change the image to a lower size. Let's say like 1200, and you can see it drop down to 2.7 megapixels, and hit OK. This is going to make a big difference when it comes to cropping and knowing and fit this to the screen. Now let's zoom in and look at the edges. You can see it's pixelated. It's not the exact same. Even if we zoom out, you can still see it a little bit. It's not the same quality as the 18 megapixels. You can see all these little boxes, because the higher the megapixel, like once again, a megapixel is basically these small little boxes right here. That's what a picture is. A picture is basically, if you zoom in, it's going to be these little boxes right here, and each one is like a million. I think one pixel is like a million of these. So with that being said, you could just take a look at the pixels on a 2.7 megapixel camera, and if we back out of that and go back to 18 megapixels, let's fit this on the screen, and when you zoom in on 18 megapixels, you can see the fine line of everything. It's a higher resolution. I mean, there's more of those boxes than the ones you just seen. As you can see, it's multiplied, and it'll be, you know, even crispier if you're shooting with a 24 megapixel camera. So basically, the higher the resolution, the cleaner your picture is gonna look. So back to cropping our images. Over the years, I've grown and learned a lot of different ways of cropping out images. The easiest way, which everyone uses, is this right here, which is called the this is called a pixel brush or something like that. Oh, the magic wand. The magic wand. This quick selection tool, I'm not sure if this is on CS4, but it's on CS5. There's two different ways you can do it. You can click on this, and basically what this does, it clicks on whatever background. Well, let me go back out and let me start off right here. You go in your layer box. Basically, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this image and we're gonna make it look like this. We're gonna take the whole background out. We're not gonna have anything blurry, which, as you can see if you zoom in, see it's fine cut around the edges. So what I like to do when I start off in Photoshop is I like to duplicate the original layer. That way I can always have the original layer just in case I mess up on something by accident. So there's two ways you can do that. You can either click on this and drag it down to a new layer, which is this right here. This right here creates a new layer, or you can just double click on it and it's gonna pop up and say new layer, and you can name it up if you want or not. Usually I like to name my layers as well as my groups. It's easier. I'm all about organizing everything makes it way easier when it comes to design and stuff. So you just say just type in original layer. I mean, you can even change the color if you want. Alright, so let's go down and drop that down, and just take the I out for that, since we don't need to look at that. That's our original layer, just in case we want to go back to that. Alright, so since we got that, now we can go over to the magic wand. Alright, I don't use this. I'm just letting you guys know the different tools that people use to I'm gonna show you what I actually use, but right now I'm gonna just show you different tools what people use to actually crop out images, what I think is the best and the worst. This is actually, I think it's the worst. I think it's the quickest and laziest way, which is the way I used to when I first started designing years ago. But say for instance, you just, I mean, because it's gonna click on whatever the color is in that area. Yeah, like say for instance the shadow. You click on the shadow, it's gonna grab everything in that shadow. But it's gonna grab, you saw the shadow in his hat is almost blending in with that right there. I don't like using that. So even if you click on this right here, it's gonna grab on that also. It's gonna grab all this right here also, but it's not gonna grab the whole background. Click on this. You know, it's grabbing his shirt because his shirt is almost the same color as that. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Well, Control D deselects that right there, so it'll disappear. You can turn down the tolerance. Let's say, for instance, you're gonna go down to 15, and it won't grab that much. If you want to keep what you have and grab some next to you, just hold down Shift, and once you hold down Shift and click again, it'll grab some more. If you want to take away, hold down Alt, and it takes some away. Take some away once you click on it, but it's not a sufficient way. Let's deselect this right quick. Another tool people use is under filters, I think. Let me see. Maybe it's under. I haven't used it in so long. Or this is another way too. Color range. You can click on color range, and basically what it's going to do is going to select whatever area you click on. As you can see right here, like the shadows. I mean, you can, you know, work on the range, on, you know, how far or close you want the pixels to be grabbed. What I mean, excuse me, what pictures you want to be grabbed. The fuzziness of the picture. You can, you know, select the matte, whether you want it to be grayscale, white scale, or quick mask. I mean, what it's gonna look like basically once you hit OK, it's gonna grab whatever, you know, color is in that range of what you selected. It's kind of a better way also, but I only think it works on certain projects. Another tool that helps out too is this right here, this lasso tool. So say for instance, instead of using this magic wand and holding down Alt to get rid of some of this, you can just grab this lasso tool and hold down Alt and draw around the spot you don't want anymore, and it'll disappear. Or you can hold down Shift and grab what you want. Let's say for instance, I just want this eye. Just hold down Shift, circle around it, and it's gonna grab it. But I don't want to use that either. I'm looking for this tool. I think it's called. I can't find it. Where is it at? I know it's on my CS4. It's basically like I might not have it on here. I know it's available for CS5. I think you have to download it off Adobe. But whatever. What I like to use is the pen tool, which is surefire way to get the crispiest look, period. It takes a little longer to do, but once you look at the image afterwards, I mean, it's well worth the long time it takes to spend drawing around the image. And it'll be quicker too if you actually have a digital pad with a pen instead of using a mouse, because you can actually just draw around it. But what I like to do, I like to grab the pen tool. Well, first I like to zoom in on the area I'm working on. Let's say for instance this area right here. Alright, sorry about that. Just draw around the area I want. And Control Z, back it out. But let's keep going. I mean, if you want to zoom in to get even more detail, you can. Like, zoom in, like, whoop. Which is why it's more sweet to shoot with a higher resolution camera, because with lower pixels you won't be able to get this detail. And I like to get kind of close. With a higher resolution picture, you'll see where the small bit of shadow from the person's skin. Now, if it's a shirt that's blending in with the background, you're gonna have to like kind of, I don't want to say squint your eyes, but you're gonna have to, you know, either use your imagination or see where the shirt's going. But kind of get close to the skin, because if you click outside right here, once you're finished, you're gonna see the background on the image. So I like to kind of get real close to the image, if not just touching the skin, but close enough to the skin. And just move. If you hit H on a Windows, or you grab this little hand, you can move the image around. You can hit P, goes back to the pen tool. And just keep going. Back out of that. Another thing you could do too, if you hold the, say for instance, if you hold it down while you're moving the mouse, it'll bend. So like when you want to bend corners like that, it'll curve. kind of helps if you want to like go all the way down like that. Go to pen tool, pen tool. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it depends on how close you want it. Let me zoom out. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. And let's just do a rough draft. Let me go back to curve that around. Sometimes you gotta zoom out to see what you're doing. Alright, see we're going around the fingers there. And we'll slide up. Go back to, there we go. There we go. And zoom out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect that dot with the dot that we first started with. You can tell that you're connecting with the same dot because once you get to that dot, you'll see this little circle thing pop up right by the pen tool right there, that little circle. Once you know you see that, that's the original one. So you just click on it. You're going to get a straight line. Excuse me. Grits and eggs. I'm starting to burp. Alright, so to turn that into an area so you can delete that area, what you want to do is you want to hold control and hit enter, and then you'll see the lines like breaking up like that, like they're moving, and we fit that on the screen like that, and you can see the area you traced, and you just hit delete and it's gone. Now what I like to do, let me go back, I like to feather out. Feathering is basically what it does, it softens the edges. Like say for instance, if we delete this right now, so you hit delete and hit Control D to make that go away. You can see it's rough. I mean it's a clean cut, of course, no doubt. But if you go to filter, select, go to modify, feather, or Alt Control D. If you feather out, say for instance you go to like 2 pixels, feather it out to soften it. It's gonna soften your edge. So you hit delete, Control D. You can see it's softer around the edges. If you still can't see it, let me try this. What I'm gonna do is make a new layer under the original layer. Go to edit, go to fill. Let's put a black background. Alright, so we got a black background under the original. Well, let me go back out because it's only filling in that spot that we got lit up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit deselect. Alright, that's gone. Now we're gonna fill this in. The whole background. Whoa, what's going on? There we go. Alright. Now we're gonna reselect and bring that back up. There we go. And we'll go back to our original layer. And delete that. Now you can see it's a rough edge. Now if we bring that back up and we add a feather to it, the reason I'm doing this like that so you can actually see how it looks with the background behind it. It's kind of hard with nothing, with a transparent background. And delete it now. You can see it's kind of softer on the edges. I don't like to make mine too soft. So what I will do I would just add a small feather to it, which would be like around point five, and that's good enough for me. I mean, you could feather whatever. I mean, however you want to feather the image. Oh, delete the black part. However you feel. Play around with your images and yeah, you can come up with your own. All right, let's fit this to the screen. There you go. I could have feathered it a little more. I mean, seeing that right there, but it's cool. So, we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna knock out the rest of this. No, I'm not gonna take a quick break because I already did it. So, once you do all that, you're gonna come up with like this. Once you knock out everything, let's take a look with the black background. If you have any, like say for instance, like right over here, some areas you missed due to the background you couldn't see, go ahead and knock it out. You can see, that's why it's always good to make a black background. Hold up, let me go back. Or a background with a dark color period, so you can see how the feather looks. Let's go around his head. Yeah, just make it rough. You guys get the point. Control Enter, delete. Let's fit that to the screen. Now, images like this, say for instance you want to use this on a dark background, and you're like, well, how? I mean, you can do the same thing for his hair, or you can take this burn tool. There we go. And you could come over here and basically burn the image, which is basically darkening the image. It depends on the midtone. The shadows are the highlights. Which would be highlights would be a brightened image. The midtone would be the mids. Shadows would be the lower part of the image. So if it was the highlight, let's see. Let's go right there. You can see. You just click on it. It's getting darker. Yeah, you want to darken the midtones. Darken that. And the shadows. Yeah, well, a little too dark. You're going to just turn down the exposure a little bit. Let's say probably about 40. And it darkens that. There we go. So you can just do that for the whole head. And you get that. Cool, cool. For situations like the glasses, as you can see, you still see the background, so you can either burn this or you can use the pen tool again, and you can see the glasses kind of magnified his face, so it's gonna throw it off, but either way it's cool. Control Enter, select modify feather, 0.5, enter, OK, delete, Control D. Let's do the same for this top part. And just running through it right quick. And I'm gonna feather that, Control Alt D, enter, delete. Another thing too, man, if you're gonna be on Photoshop, learn your shortcuts. It makes it so easy instead of coming up here clicking on the menu all the time. If you don't know them, I mean, they're right next to, they should be right next to the As you can see, Control Alt A, Shift Control D. Alright, thank you guys for watching. We'll show you guys how to add backgrounds on the next one, and probably do some touch-ups, like how to remove certain spots on the face. Alright, so come back and visit. Thanks.